Hey everyone, and welcome. So you've probably noticed we're told there's a pill for just about everything, right? More energy, better focus, faster weight loss, you name it. But when you step into that crowded, super confusing world of supplements, how do you know what's real and what's just really, really good marketing? Well, today we are gonna cut through all that noise and find out.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? We are all just bombarded with these promises of a better life in a single pill. It's a lot. So what's the real story behind all the hype? Let's get into it.
And this is why it is so darn confusing. You know, for every single person telling you one thing, you can find another one saying the exact opposite. One day, protein is essential for muscle. The next day, you read an article warning it's going to destroy your liver. It just makes you want to throw your hands up. So who in the world are we supposed to believe? Okay, to get some real clarity here, we're going to start by busting some of the most popular myths out there. We're going to cut right through that noise and get to what actually works. And we're going to do it using some insights from people who are actually in the industry. So let's kick things off with a bit of a bombshell. Now, this quote isn't from some skeptic or critic. Oh no, this is from the co-founder of a supplement company who is openly saying that one of the most popular products in her entire industry is a total scam. Yeah, that definitely gets your attention, right? So let's just get right to it. Do fat burners actually work for an average person? You know, someone trying to lose a bit of weight? The answer is a hard no. They might, and that is a huge, huge might, give a tiny little metabolic boost to, say, an elite bodybuilder who's trying to shed that last 0.5% of body fat for a competition. But for the rest of us, they are pretty much useless. Okay, so if fat-burning pills aren't the answer, what is? Well, the real magic happens when you focus on your body's own fat-burning engine. We're talking about things like supporting your thyroid, which is basically the thermostat for your metabolism, or incorporating some fasting, and building lean muscle, which, by the way, torches calories even when you're just sitting on the couch. These are the things that actually move the needle.
All right, let's tackle the next big controversy, protein powder. Come on, we've all heard the horror stories that it's going to damage your liver, wreck your kidneys. It's a huge fear for a lot of people. But is the protein itself really the bad guy here?
This is where it gets, well, kind of shocking. A study went out and tested 50 popular protein brands in India. So out of 50, how many do you think actually had what they claimed on the label? Just take a guess. Only 3. That's right, just 3 out of 50 were the real deal. And this really gets to the heart of the issue. The problem isn't whey protein. Whey is just a natural food product. It's a byproduct of making cheese. The real problem is an unregulated market that is flooded with fakes, products packed with artificial sweeteners that can mess up your gut, or stuff that just doesn't even have the protein they're advertising. The danger isn't the ingredient, it's the total lack of quality control. Okay, so we've busted a couple of myths, but now we're gonna dig a little deeper to the root of the problem. Because so many health issues, everything from feeling tired all the time to serious autoimmune conditions, can often be traced back to one single really powerful concept: chronic inflammation. So what even is inflammation? Let's think about it this way. If you accidentally hit your hand on a table, it gets all red and swollen, right? That's your body sending blood and immune cells to go repair the damage. That's short-term inflammation, and it's actually a good thing. The real problem starts when that same process gets switched on inside your body, and then it never, ever switches off. So how does this chronic inflammation cause so many problems? Well, it often starts this vicious cycle, and it begins in your gut. Certain foods can act as triggers, causing constant inflammation. Over time, this actually creates tiny little punctures in your gut lining. You might have heard of it as leaky gut. Then food particles can leak out into your bloodstream, where they absolutely do not belong. Your immune system sees them, thinks they're foreign invaders, and launches an attack. And eventually, it gets so confused it might just start attacking your own body, leading to things like joint pain, thyroid issues, and all sorts of autoimmune conditions. So, if inflammation is the culprit, how do we fight back? Well, it takes a totally new way of thinking. We have to stop just treating the symptoms and start acting more like a detective for our own health. Think about the difference here. A conventional approach often asks, what is the symptom? Got a headache? Okay, here's a pill to suppress the pain. It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on it. A functional approach, though, asks a different question. It asks, why is the symptom happening in the first place? Is it stress? Are you dehydrated? Is it a food sensitivity? The goal isn't just to cover up the problem, but to investigate and find the actual root cause. And this brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway from all of this. Before you even think about buying another supplement, you have to get the foundations right. It's all about focusing on your lifestyle before you ever start looking at labels.
Let's bring this quote back because it perfectly captures this idea. Even a supplement founder is telling us that supplements are a shortcut. They're meant to fill in very specific gaps, not to build the entire road for you. They should be the final piece of the puzzle, not the first piece you reach for. So what this means is we really need to flip the typical approach completely on its head. This right here is the real health pyramid. The foundation, the biggest, most important part, isn't pills. It's your behavior. And number one is fixing your sleep. Next up is nutrition, figuring out and removing the foods that are triggering inflammation in your body. And only then, way up at the very top, do you use smart, strategic supplementation to fill in any of the gaps that are left. And speaking of behavior, let's talk about one of the most powerful changes you can make right now, managing junk light. Yep, just like junk food, junk light messes with our bodies. See, when the sun goes down, your brain is supposed to get the signal to start producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. But all of our bright, blue-toned artificial lights trick your brain into thinking it's still noon, and it just kills that melatonin production. Simple stuff like dimming your lights, switching them to a warm, orangey color, and please, getting that TV out of the bedroom can have a massive impact on your sleep quality. And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. We're all out here searching for that magic pill, that quick fix for more energy or better health. But what if the most powerful supplement on the planet is actually free, and all it requires is just a little bit of discipline? Before you go spend another dollar, just ask yourself this one simple question. What if you just fixed your sleep first? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in.